So we have just got our groceries delivered, which is always very, very nice. And I thought, as I often do, I would share with you what we've had this week. I look around me, you can't see it yet, but it's looking kind of green and healthy, which is quite nice really. It's looking very fresh. There's lots of fresh veggies, which you'll see very soon. One thing this week, well, not just this week, but since the end of December, I still haven't eaten any meat, which is not intentional really. It's just kind of happened, and then we've tried new meals and I've really enjoyed it. So as of like the first week of February, I'm still meat free. I don't think this is going to continue. Whenever I go out for a meal or something, or I'm at someone's house and they've made something that's meat and it's very difficult for me not to, I'm not going to be like, I'm not eating. But at home, I've really, really, really enjoyed eating meat free. It's been great. We've not been doing the whole like vegan thing. We've still been having eggs. I can't live without cheese and all that. But it's been really, really good. And obviously, I thought this would be difficult with the whole being low FODMAP thing, but it's actually been okay. It's been quite a learning curve. Like there's things that I thought I definitely couldn't have anything of, but I actually can have in small portions. And I thought, like, they say things are low FODMAP, but I can't eat them. But actually, I've tried things, reintroduced things, and it's been relatively successful. I've got a meal plan in front of me, written it down because I can't remember stuff and it's in the morning and I'm just a bit tired still. So I've got it on this phone. So what we're going to be eating this week, we're going to be having a courgette and chickpea pasanda. I think that's how you say it. I don't really know what pasanda curry is, but it's a pasanda curry with rice. We're going to have a mushroom pho or pho or pho. I don't know how you say it. I've always just said pho, but it's probably not how you pronounce it. We're going to have a lentil moussaka with smashed potato, which just sounds heavenly. Again, lentils, probably a lot of low FODMAP people think, because I did, and I still kind of do, but we do have them now. And then we're going to have courgette fritters with poached eggs, which just so good. I mean, fritters usually have onion in. Courgette is a great replacement for that really. And then obviously you have to finish your week with pizza. So we're going to have pizza and it's homemade base and everything. Like it's really, really good. So that is what we're having this week. That's our little meal plan. Meal planning has really helped us just to keep on track with like budgeting and money and stuff, and also just making us feel more relaxed that we don't have to rush to the supermarket to get something and get all stressed about what we're going to have for dinner. So yeah, it's really, really good to do. But I'll stop waffling now and turn the camera around and waffle some more, but show you what we've bought at the shops this week. I think I shall start with this. This is not something we bought. We actually asked for bean sprouts, and we got Chinese inspired stir fry mix, which we have checked and there's no onions in it, so that is good, but I'm not sure if this is a goer really for us. It's got like some other bits and bobs and we'll see. It might be okay. I can't tell at the moment because I haven't really looked at it properly. Next we've got blueberries because Pancake Day is coming up, so I just sort of celebrate Pancake Day for the whole month because why not? I really like blueberries on pancakes, but you definitely have to be careful in terms of low FODMAP that you don't have too many. I think people think that berries are okay in like any quantity when different berries vary. And I'm pretty sure blueberries, there is a specific amount that you're allowed and you shouldn't have too many. And then you shouldn't mix that also with other berries as well. So don't think you can have loads of blueberries, loads of raspberries together. You should sort of balance it out quite well. On the other hand, grapes are something that are entirely low FODMAP. And this is something that Mark likes. I, for some reason, can't really tolerate grapes as much as I wish I could. But Mark likes to freeze them and then have them as like a frozen snack, which if you haven't tried, try it, because it's supposedly quite good. Lemon juice, because, no, it's not lemon juice, it's lime juice. We've got some, now this is ground fenugreek. I'd assume we're putting that maybe in our moussaka. Not 100% sure. It's not a spice that I've bought before, so I didn't have it in the cupboard. So we've got that just for that. Then we've got some tomato puree because that's just useful to have in the cupboard, and probably going to shove it in some of our dinners this week. And then we've got some pecorino cheese, which you would think that dairy cheese maybe isn't okay, but as you can see, well, you probably can't see, it won't let me zoom in very well. Let me try and focus on that. There you go. The sugar on this is 0.0, which means that it is like lactose free or very, very, very low in lactose. Right, I've just realised that the fenugreek is not for the moussaka at all. It's for the curry. It's for the pasanda, which I can't pronounce properly. Mark knows more than I do, so whatever. Then we've got some buttery flora, because this is, it has a may contain milk on the back of these ones, but it's dairy free as such. It has no dairy in it, so that's good for Mark, and I really like the buttery flora. It tastes really nice. Coriander, which will most likely go in the curry. We go through a lot of coriander. It's a weird thing, coriander. I don't really like the smell of it. I don't like the flavour on its own, but within things it works really well. A big old load of chopped tomatoes here from Napolina. Something low FODMAP related on chopped tomatoes, which I don't think people realise, is that there is like a serving size that is low FODMAP, and beyond that it goes high. So it's usually about a quarter of one of these tins, which obviously in a lot of recipes you might use the full tin, but then you're not going to eat the entire thing. So you just have to be mindful of that when you're having chopped tomatoes, that, you know, you might think, why have I got a bit of a stomach ache or something after dinner? And it might be that you've just eaten a bit too much tomato. But I'm pretty good with tomatoes, which is very fortunate because there's so many other things I'm not good with. Then we have got some lentils for the lentil moussaka. Lentils are a difficult thing really, because they are high FODMAP in nearly every portion size, but you can have the teeniest, tiniest amount. So we literally put a couple of tablespoons or something into our meal, and it's just nice to reintroduce it slowly like that. And maybe one day I'll be able to have more, but you do have to be very, very careful with lentils for that reason. And I think it's useful that they're in water, because I think all the FODMAP-y stuff can go into the water, which is very useful and helpful for you. But yeah, be careful with lentils, but it is something that you can have in certain portion sizes, so don't be too scared. Mark's got some apples here. He likes the jazz apples. Apples, I think it's ridiculous the portion size you're allowed low FODMAP. I think it usually varies between about 20 and 25 grams, which I'm sure an apple weighs a lot more than that. I don't tend to eat apples like this. I have cooking apples and I'll eat cooked apple, but I don't tend to have them like that because I just find that they don't totally agree with me. Aubergines for the moussaka, which will be very nice. Again, aubergine you can't have in huge portions. I think you're allowed 70 grams or so of aubergine, but you can't go too mad. But then you generally don't eat that much of it. So it's a decent portion size that you're allowed. Carrots are just like the king / queen of vegetables, because I'm pretty sure you're allowed as much carrot as you want. I always have a lot of carrots, so I don't know. I assume you can. On the other hand, I always thought courgette was entirely a low FODMAP kind of vegetable, but there is a limit to how much you can have. I don't remember what it is, but you can't have too much. I find that I can have a decent amount though, but yeah, you do have to be careful. You just have to be mindful of all these things and be aware of it. I'm going through a lot of FODMAP stuff here, but hopefully it's useful, because this is a very useful thing that I only sort of discovered fairly recently, and that is oyster mushrooms. I thought we couldn't have any mushrooms, but we can. We can have king oyster mushrooms, or I've got over here oyster mushroom cluster. So any oyster mushrooms, they are low FODMAP, and I don't think any other mushrooms are. So that is what we're going to have in the mushroom faux. We've tried it quite a lot, and they're very nice in terms of texture. You can like pull them, a bit like pulled pork and stuff. So I definitely recommend trying them. And Tesco is one of the few places that I find them in, so you can get them as the king oyster mushrooms or the clusters. They look a bit weird, especially the clusters, but they're good. Then we've got some paella rice, because we realised the other day we ran out of it and had to use regular rice. Not going to use it this week, but soon. Avocados, which is something I have a bit of a fear of, because avocado really hurt my stomach at times. You're allowed a reasonable amount low FODMAP wise, but not too much, so it's something that I want to really try and push back into my diet, just a really small portion, because I mean avocado is nice. I don't know why I'm so scared of it. We've got something that's definitely not suitable for me. It's got gluten in it, but Mark liked these. These are Weetabix Crispy Minis. And then my choice of cereal always, well not always, but I am partial to this if we're shopping at Tesco, are the Tesco Free From Bran Flakes. They're really, really nice. Quite a small box, so I get through them quite quickly, but they are delicious. Then we've got some Genius Toasty Bread, because it's just nice to have some gluten-free bread in the house. Try that out. So I've chosen that because it's good for the toaster, hence the Toasty name. Then we have got broccoli, which broccoli in terms of FODMAP and stuff is a funny one really, because it varies portion size between the stalk and
what are these called? The florets, I think. So you can have a certain amount of stalk and a certain amount of floret. You have to be really careful. I can't remember the exact amounts, but it is something that, I mean, the reason I don't know the amounts that much is because I don't really eat it that much, because I find it's a bit of a scary one. When I do eat it, I'll generally eat some of the florets and have them really, really, really well cooked. Probably, to be honest, only one floret, because it's difficult. But yeah, just remember that it's not the same, so you have to check between stalk and floret. Eggs, because obviously we're going to be having our courgette fritters and poached eggs, and generally just eggs are good for baking, or just when you want to add it to some fried rice or something like that, just to give it a bit more flavour. Some croissants, because gluten-free croissants now exist and are pretty decent, and I really do like the Tesco ones. You have to put them in the oven, but they do say that. Definitely don't eat them without them being put in the oven, because they're just not that great. This is the Cathedral City Extra Mature Cheddar. I'm such a big cheese fan, and mature cheddar, especially extra mature, is lactose-free or low in lactose, so it's low FODMAP. Always remember, like the hard cheeses, like the cheddars, they're always good for low FODMAP. Then I've got some cocoa yogurt, which this is just like the plain one. I use this when I'm making pizza bases. It is amazing. I like to just have it on its own as well. It's really nice, thick and creamy, and you can add it to sauces and stuff like pasta sauces. You don't really taste the coconut, which is good. But yeah, I use it in pizza bases and it works a treat. Then I've got bananas here. And these bananas are green, which according to FODMAP rules, as it were, will probably be the time where you should eat the banana. You shouldn't have them when they're really ripe, but for me personally, I don't really like a banana like this. I wouldn't eat it if it's green. It tastes really floury and it's a bit like hard. But that is when you should, they say, eat one, but you know, you just have to try it out yourself. A non-food thing, but something that people on my Instagram really recommended for me, because I have terrible skin as such, like not as bad as I used to have really bad eczema, but it started to come back last year quite badly. So people always recommended Child's Farm moisturiser, and I use it every single day now, so I bought a couple of those. I thought it was like, I think it is for children. I mean, like you buy it in like you find it in like the baby section, not in like the moisturiser section, but it's really good, and obviously they're good with their fragrances and stuff because little babies have sensitive skin. I have got some free self-raising white flour here, which I will be using in my pizza bases, because I use self-raising in them just to give it a bit more of a puff, and also just for general baking and anything. You always need a bit of flour in your cupboard. It's a sad day when you don't have flour in your cupboard, really, isn't it? Then I've got 2 lots of mayonnaise. I haven't mentioned this one yet, I don't think. So I have got regular mayonnaise, which is just the sort of Tesco light mayonnaise, which is something that we have. But then also Tesco started doing this low FODMAP mayonnaise. They do lots of different ones, like they do a regular one, which I don't buy, but I do buy the garlic-free mayo aioli, because that's just amazing. It's really, really delicious, and I never thought I'd see this sort of thing in supermarkets, like low FODMAP garlic mayo, but it exists. So definitely check this out if you are going to Tesco and stuff, because I think that's the only place currently, like in supermarkets in the UK, you can get it. I think you can get it online on some of the like FODMAP supermarket things as well, but really good. And I believe this is vegan as well, so it's no eggs in it, but you wouldn't know. It's good. Then let's whiz through this. Potatoes. Potatoes will be for, we're having some smashed potatoes with something, can't remember what, but we got some big ones this week, so I'm not sure if we'll need all of them for our dinners. Maybe we can have a jacket potato, although we've only got 3, I don't know. Potatoes are always necessary in the cupboard, aren't they? Then we have got breakfast juice. This is something that Mark likes to have. I tend not to have fruit juices because I find it doesn't totally agree with my stomach to have too much fruit juice. I think it's like really concentrated fructose and stuff. So for me personally, I think it's a low FODMAP kind of thing, but fruit juice is a bit of a sticky thing for me. So that's just for Mark. And then I think this is the last lot of things. I've got 3 things that are very similar but very, very different. They're kind of like dairy and dairy alternatives. I've got a double cream, which is not lactose-free or dairy-free. I've got lactose-free milk, which is lactose-free but not dairy-free. And then I have got almond milk, which is lactose free and dairy free. And you think, why do I have all of these? Well, I don't like the taste of cow's milk at all, like for my cereal and stuff, so I just have almond milk, really like that. Mark is lactose intolerant, so he has lacto-free milk. I mean, I could have that, but I really like the taste of almond unsweetened, whereas Mark doesn't like the taste of it, so we have to have different milks. And then I have got some double cream, which obviously is, well, it's not the same as milk, is it? You don't drink it, but this is more just for doing my baking and stuff like that and trying stuff out for other people. I can obviously have it, but Mark can't. But that's fine because my job is to make recipes and stuff, really, so that is something that I very often need in my fridge. And I think that is everything. I think so. This all cost around £45, which isn't too bad. It was slightly increased because of my cream, but when you need cream, you need cream.
So if you enjoyed this video and want to watch more videos like this, then click up here for more grocery hauls, and click up here if you want to see us making all this food into a delicious reality of dinners. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!